We're sitting on some curatives in case we run into citizens that need help. I don't think we really have much. I think maybe there's like one guy in Whitechapel. Oh no, that's right. We found out a ton of people got fatigued after the day ticked over. That's right. So we got a ton of stuff here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 fatigues we gotta mix up. It's ridiculous, Zelly. It was a gut punch too, because I had just gotten my ass whipped over and over by Mary come back from the dead. And then after finally I had done it and we had advanced and I'd leveled up, the freaking overlay pops up and shows me that everyone in London is sick again. So it looks like it's 9 fatigue and 1 cold, which we might be able to do. Fatigue is the simplest of them to mix up. So let's see here. How many of these bad boys can we make? Oh yeah, we're in business. It was Mary quite contrary. You're 100% right. It was more like Mary homicidal to the point of threatening our poor mother, which by the way, what happened to the mom? You're right. Clayton Cox is not refrigerated walking the streets of London. Already Afterlife is in on it with Clayton Cox. He wants this man dead. Oh, we need to mix up an extra cold medicine. And then we gotta try and find, where's that guy? Yeah, this dude, Mason Swansborough, who is married to the snake oil saleswoman in Whitechapel. We're gonna make it over to Whitechapel to do some investigations anyway, so we're gonna have to wander around and try and find him. It looks like we are tracking something currently. Oh, the stuff for Throgmorton. The sister or the mother, Zelly? Which one did you want to know if they were hot? Because the answer's not really either. The priest she threatened during the fight, though, he was kind of a looker. So we gotta go find the spot where Dyson's wife died. And we gotta find a necklace for Seymour. Let's go find Seymour's necklace to start with, because that might take us off the beaten path a little bit. And then fortunately, you know, it's interesting, right? We've kind of established the docks as one of the dirtier areas. But like no one got sick in the docks. I guess that might be because we had just converted Sean Hampton. They were, well, yeah, both not so great. So let's see here. It looks like we do yet again have one of those errant map trackers. So Seymour Fishburne's necklace, they literally were just like, yeah, it's somewhere in the entirety of the docks. So that's not overly helpful. We'll wander around, see if we can hit up some of these docks investigations and Archer, right? We're gonna swing through Pembroke. We've finished all the investigations in Pembroke, so there's no fresh experience to be had there other than, you know, maybe a little bit from some combat here and there. But we're going to be able to swing through and do a bunch of cures. We have all those fatigue medicines we can drop off on the people around Pembroke. And I do believe we'll get a little bit of experience for each of those. So that's fine. Let's see if we can figure out how the heck we're supposed to find this man's necklace. So this is his mom here. And I don't think we've ever forced our way in to talk to him.
It's Dr. Reid again. May I come in?
You best come back in the morning, Doctor.
Oh, but I don't want to.
The disease takes away the good people too, madam. Why not let me in?
It's Mrs. Fishburne. Stella Fishburne. And yes, indeed. Why not let a doctor in?
That was like a really, really long way to say, sure, come on in.
Gentlemen are easy targets in this.
It's locked.
Looks like that's her private stash. I got to assume every time we run into one of those locked containers inside someone's like house or dormitory, that's a bonus for if you decide to go the hungry route and chomp on them. You probably get access to like their personal goodies, which I can only hope is like just constantly making you feel terrible about what you've done. Well, that's a cute little photo. She's got a pretty nice house compared to everything else we've seen in the docks.
So you have questions about the flu then?
Yes, among other things.
Forgive my rudeness at the door.
Hey, Call of Booty,
It's
thanks
just
for
my
dropping
son
in.
Doesn't like strangers coming in the house.
We're questioning a bunch of sick people in the docks.
How is life around here?
Life has
No
always
one's
been
dead
hard in
yet.
the East End. But it's everywhere nowadays, isn't it?
Do you think the increase in violence has anything to do with the epidemic?
Don't know. But it's most likely linked to the gangs, if you ask me. Recently, it's like everyone has had to pick a side.
Violence has always fed on poverty, don't you think? It's a cruel law of the human condition.
And selfishness is their rotten fruit. These days, you can just die in the gutter and no one will bat an eye.
So she's not what I would call an optimist. You know what we haven't done?
Mrs. Fishburne, are you in need of any medical assistance?
I don't intend on sucking
Miss
this old
Embody.
woman, Zelly.
Thank you for your concern, Dr. Reid.
May I ask what you do for a living, Mrs. Fishburne?
Since
She hasn't
my
done anything
husband
wrong.
died,
We'll crush her
I
son's
worked
spirit
at
if we
the
kill her.
Dawson Rope factory, but it closed before the war. I occasionally help at the night asylum in exchange for food.
Yo, if she helps at the night asylum, if she means Sean Hampton's night asylum, then like this old bag makes it all the way to Whitechapel on the regular, and I've died 2 or 3 times trying to make that same walk.
Did your husband die in the war?
So yeah, we're definitely not going to attack her
no.
because she's got chops.
My Jack was a docker. He died when my Seymour was just a lad. The poor boy saw his dad slip and fall from that scaffolding.
Oh, that's terrible.
How do you pay the rent then?
My Seymour works at the docks, just like his dad. He's very attached to the house he grew up in. It's not always easy, but we get by all right.
So from the sounds of it with Seymour, who we've talked to previously, it's not about him being attached to this house. It's definitely about him wanting to take care of his mother.
The orphan that regards you as a mother. Please tell me about him, Stella.
You mean Rufus? I wish I could do even more for the poor boy. Most people are so selfish.
But you're not.
Years may have passed, but I haven't forgotten how it feels to go through days with nothing but an empty stomach.
Do you have any news about Sean Hampton's shelter?
I just heard the sad saint keeps on helping the sick and poor. God bless his soul.
So I was hoping we would
Goodbye,
get
Mr.
something
Stone.
from her
Take care of yourself.
to maybe point us towards this necklace. It's nice to finally have gotten a second to chat with her and get inside the house,
Please don't stay too long, sir.
but there's not any better indication as to where we're supposed to be going to find the necklace. One can only assume it's going to be like we'll find a skull or some other baddie and have to fight them for the treasures they possess. I gotta keep trying some of these little like nooks and crannies. We've done a ton of wandering around, mainly just because I get lost. But there's still all kinds of spots that I'm not... That takes us over to the western docks. There's still all kinds of spots that I haven't gotten into. Mainly just because I can't differentiate what I have and have not been through. That's Rufus. Did we confirm he has albinism? Or does he just have white hair?
Good evening, Mr. Fishburne.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's see more. I'm glad you're such
Do
an
you
asshole
require
while you have me
medical
looking for this
assistance?
I'm
necklace.
fine, thank you.
No hints for him yet either.
Goodbye,
Man.
Mr. Fishburne.
To every night a darkness, and every dawn another death.
It isn't raining currently. I can only assume because Don't Not Entertainment was like, you know what? Give him one night of clear weather since he just had to murder his sister again. That's probably like the closest they've come to being benevolent the entire time we're playing. They haven't, you know, all things considered, with how dark the sequence was with my sister, I still don't feel like Jonathan has let most of this get to him. We don't really want to go to Southwark, so I'm not going to go through here. We got a little bit of a tender moment between him and Mary where he was like apologizing and didn't want her to fight him, and he was like, no, I'll solve this, I'll cure this, we can get through this together. But he didn't really, I don't know, like he still hasn't accepted what's going on with him. He's all about curing the vampire plague, but I don't know that he's really got a plan for what he's gonna do, which is unfortunate. He's very much just like stuck in his work. I guess that's how he's coping. All right, this is that spot where like 7 skulls attack us. Like combat drop. No? No. Ooh. That dude wanted none of it. He was like, get that out of here. The weakness. We do have the option to parry, which fortunately we remembered last time after my wife gave me a kind reminder that I was not even fighting correctly, so that was nice. So it's somewhere from here down. Like literally it's somewhere in the area that is comprised of the docks. Oh, hello. Did that just pop up fresh? Oh, that's that thing that if we're just too far out of the circle, it pops up to be like, no, dummy, not there. So I guess we can kind of count on it not being over here. There's Booth.
Pleasure, sir.
I wonder if Edwina's
Good
just
evening,
got
Miss
it.
Cox.
I've
Hello
not really
again,
looked
Dr.
at her
Reid.
inventory
What do you
super
want?
close.
Can I see what...
As long as you have money, I'll show you all I have.
That sounds strange, Edwina. I don't know that you want to phrase it that way. She might have meant it that way. I can't imagine it's in the turtle. Let me see if there's any additional information if we click into it. Seymour Fishburne seems quite an irritable man, not exactly the friendly type. He confessed to me he lost the necklace he wanted to offer his mother. If I can help calm the man down, maybe I should try and find the lost gift. So it's literally just like, hey dude, somewhere in London is a necklace. It's like some borderline Where's Waldo nonsense.
Good evening, Mr. Woodbead.
Good evening to you, my young doctor.
Do you need my medical attention, sir?
I'm as fit as an old dog given the circumstances.
I would not necessarily like it if my health could be summarized as being fit as an old dog.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
People used to feel safe around here. They had the gangs protecting them. Now all they do is bicker and plot against one another.
Missing the good old days, are you not?
Trust me, son. The longer you live, the less meaning your existence will have. You need to remember the days you still had beliefs.
If you're feeling past fit as an old dog, MSUVV,
And what about the
my
gangs?
condolences.
Back in my day, people
But I
trusted
can
the
understand
Westwood
that.
boys. We looked out for the docks and its families. Nowadays, they're just a bunch of greedy fuckers.
You were a gang member.
I was their leader for a time, believe it or not. Now these bastards act like I'm nothing. Not one of them. They owe me some damn respect.
Put some respect on Archer's name.
If you were such a respected figure, surely you have many interesting stories about this part of town.
You bet I do, but make no mistake. I'm no rat, sir. Some secrets are best left buried.
Do you still know anyone? From the old days, I mean.
Most of them are dead. I still give Miss Gillingham salutations. She doesn't remember me. She did once like me. Boy, she was a beauty back then.
Is this the guy? Does anyone remember if this is the guy we saved, where he was like being attacked by skulls and we finally saved him? He was totally not grateful and just drinking a beer.
Any remarkable new faces around here?
Nobody. Well, there's that boy Rufus the Curse. I like him, despite the reputation he's made since his parents died. Poor little bastard.
I like any dude who can call someone the Curse as a nickname and then immediately say, I like him.
Who would you
He
trust
does look a
around
little
here?
bit like
The
Willem
owner of the
Dafoe.
Turquoise Turtle's a decent fella. Tom's his name.
Willem
Sean
Dafoe?
Hampton's all right too. Don't particularly share his religious views. He's quite devout, if you catch my meaning.
I'm sure a district as colorful as the docks must have plenty of stories about strange visitors and creepy characters.
So,
Hey,
you want me to
thanks,
talk about
Yubi
the
Mika.
sewer dog, don't you?
If you don't mind.
The sewer dog is a bitch.
Glad to have you, buddy.
Appropriately named. An old woman dressed in rags. She has an elegance, though. Despite her ugliness. I saw her once. Scared the life out of me.
Have you always been so bitter?
It's not bitterness, it's poorly masked disgust. When everything turns to shit, we all have to eat a spoon or two.
You know, at least this guy's a straight shooter. Difficult times. Old people always complain. Oh, I so badly want to. These are difficult times.
With everything that's happened recently, the war, Spanish flu, I must concede that these are difficult times.
A few nights ago, I saw a kid eating a rat. He was right in front of one of those abandoned houses nearby. Just chewing on a living rat's insides.
I mean, yeah, it's not great. I'll be honest.
Tell me about the Wet Boot Boys, Archer. I want to know more.
We were there for the families and each other. It was us against the world. We were vicious, tough, even cruel. But we were united.
You sound like you were some kind of radical union member.
Yes, nowadays the communists and gangs squabble over pointless territory.
Freaking commies.
Sounds stupid when you say it out loud.
Tell me everything you know about
Oh, we
the
eat
God
rats
of
all the
Freeman.
time.
Andrew never told me what they do. I do know they're vigilantes with military training. Access to some impressive firepower.
And what is your
Yeah.
personal opinion
Some
about
big
the Guard, then?
guns.
This Guard of Freeman is just another gang preying on the young and naive. Preying on people like my boy. I know how it works. I invented it.
Ooh. So he blames the Guard of Freewen for his son's disappearance.
Why did your son really join the Guard of Prewen?
If I
Yeah,
believed in a
Vivi, he's
higher
got some
power,
different views, that's for sure.
I'd see this as punishment for my own sins. I deserve it for all the young men I enlisted back in the day.
Oh, so he thinks he's paying some karma out for all the young lads he recruited to the Wet Boots and brought them to an early
You
grave.
don't believe in God, though, do you, Mr. Woodbead? So why did he join?
Now I think about it, Andrew joined the Guard, not to defy me, but to follow in my footsteps, to make me proud.
So your son has left you nothing to explain his actions? No letter or message?
Not even a note. I'm a proud man, Dr. Reid. But I would kneel and pray if I thought it would give me my Andrew back.
Oh, they always do this thing. Even like the hardest characters, after I talk to them for a little while, they always like reach some kind of desperation
have any
moment where
recent
they give
news
some
on
softness, and I'm like,
Shelter?
The
oh,
man
all
is
right,
still here.
I'll go find
He's
your
trying
man's
to help others
necklace.
despite the terrible things he endured. I'm
Blah blah blah.
impressed.
Let's fight. I got news for you, Zelly.
Goodbye,
This might
sir.
be a little different of a game than you think.
Good evening, Mr. Woodbeat.
Good evening to you.
I didn't ask him about
Are
London's
you worried
situation.
about the sanitary situation in London?
I never thought I'd live to see the last days of London. Just another thing I was wrong about, I suppose.
Oh,
Goodbye,
I'm glad I
sir.
restarted the whole conversation just for you to give me that little tidbit. Afterlife, yes, Clay has been scum, but he's been honest scum. Like, Clay has done nothing where we've suddenly hit him with the vamp voice and gotten him to, like, change his story or sheepishly admit that he was obfuscating some kind of horrible truth. Like, there's a lot of quote-unquote good characters that have been way scummier than Clayton from the regard of, like, just not being honest with us. So Rufus doesn't really have anything going on. Here's the deal. Let's see what else we got that we can go do, because I am not successfully finding anything for that necklace. Dyson Delaney seems to be the most misanthropic and depressed drunk I ever met. He spoke to me about a bomb that exploded in the East End docks a few years back and took all he had and all he believed in. The man claims he started drinking the day after, and now he can't remember where the tragedy occurred to pay his homage to the dead. I convinced this broken man needs to make peace with his past if he ever wants to recover. Maybe I could try and find the place so he can grieve and find his peace. Let's go over to the Turquoise Turtle and talk to Dyson and see if we can get him to hit us with some dialogue to kind of paint the picture of where that was. What's up, Dyson?
Good evening, Mr. Delaney.
What?
What? Oh, yeah, doctor. It's not in there. Oh, we've got a new one here.
Is there anything in particular that you like about this part of town? Except for the cheap drinks, I mean.
How dare you say such a thing? I love this neighborhood. So friendly, so joyful.
Why are you so cynical?
Cynicism is the polite way to express despair, Doctor.
That's so very British.
Is it true Sean Hampton saved your life?
Yep. The sad saint grabbed my soggy arse and brought me back to the pier after I fell into the canal. I was a wreck back then.
And yet you're still drowning in cheap liquor.
Sean Hampton really acted like a saint that day. But I suppose I'm just another lost soul who doesn't deserve to be saved.
Oh, buddy. No one said that.
Surely you must have had dreams and expectations when you were young, like everybody else.
Sure, I wanted things to change. To really change, and to change for good. The bigger the dream, the harder the fall.
Sounds like you were an idealist, which is honorable.
No, sir. I was an anarchist and I believed that exclusive property is a robbery in nature. I wanted a new world to rise from the ashes, Dr. Reid.
Do you really think the world is that bad?
No, I believe we all can choose to make it better. But most of us are too weak, too corrupt and too guilty.
He didn't set the bomb, Mika.
Failed for sure. But
It was a raid during the war. I mean, I guess I won't discount it though.
Goodbye,
Like,
Mr. Delaney.
perhaps you are correct.
I should have offered a drink to them.
That is the same Dyson that invented Dyson vacuums. You're right. He we're gonna turn him before the end of the game here. He'll gain some vampiric immortality. Oh, here we go. Yeah.
I can't believe I'm doing this.
Just the other night, I saw a rich doctor come up from Pembroke Hospital and eat a rat. Just standing in the street there, he ate a rat. So Dyson's thing here is down in Southwark. So let's mosey on down to Southwark, which we got to be a little careful of, because since we finished a boss fight, the enemies down there are a little bit spicier. Yo, we don't turn down anything that gives me a little bit of blood, Mika. We need all the vampire power we can get because of my stupid idiot self. Not we're full on blood right now though. Not eating any people. We're way behind level wise. Take that. Ooh, 15 shillings. This random dead dude on the crossing to Southwark had more money in him than most households that we raid. Who was that guy? I wish there was like a warp spot for Southwark so that we could just like zip to get over here. Yeah, so like Southwark, despite the fact it looks like a large area, is actually fairly small because so much of it is like enclosed spaces. But we're gonna have to do this in such a way as to not get murdered on our way exploring. That doesn't help. I think we zipped in with a vampiric feeding frame buffer there. Oh. These dudes. Oh no, I'm stuck on the barrel. These guys do so much damage with their like holy polearm. Holy polearm would be a rad metal album, by the way. Okay.
Oh no.
Oh no. Guy sounded like he just remembered he forgot to buy milk. Did not sound like he was fighting a vampire. Oh, do I lose some of my blood meter when he does that? That sucks. God just pulls the blood out of my body. Am I supposed to believe that's what's happening? No, no. Stop it. He's got what, like 10 levels on me here? 9 levels? Put ourselves in a bit of a predicament. Took me ages to kill the 3 guys on the way into the sector. Is that the Pope? I don't know. There's a couple dudes running around London. I don't know where they're finding these guys, but they have got some pious cats who have been shutting me down at all turns. We were in here yesterday, so it's nothing in here. Let's hit the buffet for a minute here, regain some of that blood.
Despicable.
No, this is delicious. You'll eat your rat and you'll like it, Jonathan.
I have this.
Don't mind me, gentlemen.
thirst for
Just,
blood.
you know, times are tough. I know it doesn't look like I should be eating rats because this coat is so nice.
Despicable.
Better go home, sir.
I mean, no, there's no rats at home.
Believe I'm
That's
doing
probably
this.
not true. If he's here eating, then for sure there are rats at home. Dude threw up the buckler. Get out of here. I love that I just biffed with the first swing, but wound up hitting his buddy. That makes me really happy. Oh.
Oh my god!
I killed him with the backswing. How embarrassed has he got to be? All right. See, that one's not nearly as hard, even with one of the kind of thick boys. Losing the dude with the holy symbol is super helpful.
It's locked, all right.
Why is that one locked? Is there there's no one who lives here. There's no social circle for Southwark unless it counts as part of the docks and someone's going to move in down here.
It's locked, all right.
It is locked, all right. This is the way we escaped in the very beginning of the game when we were fleeing from Prywin. We haven't unlocked a flying knee. That would be sweet if you could get enough vampiric power that it was like the Matrix and Jonathan Reid just became like this beast in an MMA. Just downloaded the freaking schematics for like Sambo. This is the building from the very beginning. So if you guys remember, hey, Card Shark, thanks for coming by. We're revisiting the roots of Jonathan's vampiric past. That's where we tried to kill ourselves. So, you know, lots of good memories in this house. So the explosion, he said that it was somewhere, he was working the docks and his wife came to bring him. Ah, yeah. Okay. Dawson and I think it's Dawson and Dawson. Dawson is the name. Sean Hampton mentioned him. He's the benefactor from the West End.
Here. I should find some way to pay my respects.
Let's lay flowers. Do I need to find flowers? Find some flowers. Are you gonna send me all the way back across town? It does not look like it. I would have been furious. Okay. So the only wildflowers that grow in all of London.
Who suffered from this tragedy find or rest in peace.
All right, cool. So Dyson is handled. When we swing by next, we can go talk to him and tidy that one up. Still searching for a necklace. What did she want? Spoils of war. The vindictive Giselle Paxton. This is the woman who, like, 100% gives us the business every time we talk to her. Says that she lost the trust of her trade union comrades when the money she had pledged to look after of theirs was stolen. She also claims some men in uniforms observed her while she was drunk and foolishly counting the money in a bar. Is it a lie? Were these men from the Guard of Prywin? Anyway, it may help Giselle Paxton calm down if she could get this money back. She had worked with some others to try and unionize. That's over in the Western Docks, so we'll hit Dyson on the way back. She was oh, hey, Stealth. She was helping to unionize and had saved up a ton of cash along with her union mates, and she was the one that was supposed to be guarding it. And like a dummy, she was like drunk, making sure she had it all. Pop goes the weasel. No more union money. All right, so back across the world's longest bridge. It seems very appropriate that, like, even as an extremely powerful immortal, commuting in London is still garbage. We are gonna heal more people, Julie. We're gonna go when we're done rounding up some of these investigations in the docks to try and get a little bit of that level gap cured up. We're gonna make our way over to Whitechapel through the Pembroke Hospital zone. So that way all those people in Pembroke that popped up that have did I just pull out my weapon because there were rats? All those people in Pembroke that popped up with fatigue at the end of the day switch, we're gonna get them all dosed up with our Dr. Feelgood medication. And that's really what it is. Like, I think 2/3 of what we mix up as Jonathan Crane, or as Jonathan Reid rather, is just like opium. So if everyone's sad, we're gonna go take care of it.
Foolish girl and her pretty principles. She's got no idea who she's dealing.
Be he cursed or not, he's just
The attention to detail of the bugs that swarm around the lanterns is appreciated.
I think drink no longer
Good evening, Mr. Delaney.
What? Oh, you're that doctor.
That I talked to 15 minutes ago.
I found the location of the explosion, Mr. Delaney. I placed a flower for you where it happened, just as you asked.
Really? That's so kind. I never thought someone would... Well, thank you, Doctor.
It's nothing, really. And I'm sorry for your loss.
What? No, I didn't know them. No car was supposed to park there that day. Stupid bastard, why did he park there?
You're the man who hid that bomb.
I don't want to talk about it. Leave
Mika,
me
you're
alone.
right. You're right. He's responsible for the bombing attack. Oh my goodness, no wonder he's so filled with grief.
I sense your guilt, Dyson. Why is that? Did you not think violence was an acceptable political tool?
I still believe our fight was just by killing an innocent couple who were just at the wrong place at the wrong time. No way.
You too died that day. You are a coward. You made a terrible mistake. I mean, he's kind of a coward. He just drinks to try and escape it.
You are guilty and you deserve no compassion. You chose the weapon of a coward and you run away from the truth.
I know. Maybe I deserve judgment. Until that day, I'll just be Dyson the drunk, not Dyson the murderer.
Dyson has always managed to hide his crime and has never been judged, except for, you know, by cirrhosis.
I want you to remember the bomb, Dyson. Tell me about it.
No. I don't want to remember it.
Why use a bomb? What were you trying to destroy?
The Dawson & Dawson ammunitions factory. A symbol of violence against the people. My group wanted to destroy it to send a message.
The victims. They were not the target then.
I spent so much time figuring out the perfect moment. I used a short fuse. No car had ever parked there. They all died.
I mean, I'm less angry now that I know you weren't trying to kill people.
Do you have any recent news of Sean Hampton's shelter?
I still sleep over there from time to time. A sad saint still manages the place, even if he's a little bit more reclusive since he returned.
Weird. What's he up to?
Are you worried about the sanitary situation in London?
More contagion, more despair, more guns and more dead. More alcohol.
Thanks,
Goodbye,
Dyson.
Mr. Delaney.
Insightful as always. Oh, I thought those cards were shillings. I was just going to scoop them up. All right, so if we cut over and head over to the Western Docks, it looks like this one, there's not a lot of ambiguity as to where we have to go to find the money that she lost. So we can hopefully go knock this one out. That one was good for another 200 some odd experience. So again, not setting the world on fire, but better than being under leveled by, you know, 8 levels for a boss fight. Is this, did we finish this fight? Yo, who, he's a biggin. This guy looks like, you know the boss we fought? He looks like him. Oh man, he is like him? It's just a cheap version of that boss? No thank you. So what's he doing in here? Didn't we fight like a mimic of the werewolf boss in this same warehouse? Weird. All right, so if we, I think if we duck out the back here, he did straight up look like #1 from Umbrella Academy. You're right. All right, we can go through this gate and then basically just zip over to the opposite side of the district. We got to be careful because the Western Docks doesn't have a spawn location. And if we die, oh man, we're getting all kinds of luck with the backswing kills tonight. I'm about it. Official health warning. To the citizens of London, curfew. Official health warning. Curfew will be sounded at 9 p.m. by the church bells. All citizens must keep off the streets from that time until 5 a.m. There's a double F. Until further notice, a citywide curfew has been implemented. It is imperative that you wear your mask to prevent the spread of infection. If any member of your household becomes ill, inform the authorities immediately. due to the curfew, not opened after 9 p.m. But sure, feel free to get lunch at Jimmy John's. Alright. Streets are relatively clear. There's an ombre right... No, nothing! Just us people who live here. Alright. This just spit me into... Yeah, this is like a little dead end. Maybe there's like a zippy zip up and over. A cut through. We find so many screws. We really should settle in and maybe do, at the conclusion of some of our side questing tonight, I think I'm going to go and customize some more equipment. We did use the gun during the fight with Mary. So we finally dusted that off. So maybe we'll slick up a gun and a one-hander so that we do have some options when it comes time for fighting. What are you on about in here? Are you... Oh. We're in Nick Offerman's garage. I hope this isn't a documentary next year. Like, I'm fine with some parallels, but man, a world in which skulls are running around the streets of London, not about it. Oh, I dodged it for once. He didn't get me with his Superman attack. And then he got me with a simple backhand. Oh, he's blocking. He's scared. Alright. We've been in decent shit. Oh, what? Did he track me from around the street? What is this guy? Get out of here. My poor wife is trying so hard to be quiet on the other side of the room. And she just got done playing something on the VR and her machine was set up for speakers and she just had a panic attack. All right, so it looks like these are the guys we're dealing with. So let's see.
This could be the public house Giselle Paxton mentioned.
Oh, there's 3 of them.
I should investigate further.
They're just chilling next to a skull over here. Oh, these guys are finally some level appropriate enemies. Oh, it's the greatest. He's still gonna kill me. Get out of here. Stop it with your freaking bulwark nonsense. You know what? Fine. You get the clamps. Always with the freaking gunfire. Alright. Give us a taste. Appreciate you, friends. You know, when you're done eating someone, you like shove them off of you. I don't know if it's intended as a chance to give you some space to plan your next attack, or if it's just so that you can't like cheese some kind of animation buffer. But one of the frustrating things is we, right from the beginning, invested in that claw attack. When I shove someone off me after feeding...
Money.
Oh, we got it.
Everyone has some unethical ways of financing their war.
The distance we shove them back puts them out of range for that claw attack, which is frustrating. I don't know if, you know, if I was to start this all over, you know, when you're done eating someone and you shove them off you, that is, yeah, it's straight from me and Jonathan. We are an ethical vampire. These are, you know, these are ethically sourced vampire snacks. Oh, something screaming? Does that got you concerned, Ellie? It's just a skull. Where are you, bud? Hey, Sally's worried about you guys. There's a lot of them. This may have been foolhardy. Oh, I hit both of you. That's garbage. All that luck in All that luck and backswing kills is suddenly gone. Let's hit him with one of these. Oh, sweet. We did get some invisibility frames there. Snack on you. What level are we? Are we still 15? No, we're 17. We've gained a little bit. Ah, no way. So I can't hit you with the claws from back there, but you can hit me with the freaking catch me. They leap into your arms like it's a swing dance. Oh, it's not even a reverse nom nom. It's just them pushing their own nom-based agendas. All right. So yes, don't mind the skulls. They're just, you know, they're trying to enjoy their little slice of immortality. All right. Something's chewing on something over there. Hi, we gotta go. I'm sorry. We don't have time for you. So that obviously went considerably better. We gotta go all the way over to the Night Asylum though. I guess that's not that far. Oh, that's right. The Night Asylum's not in Whitechapel. It's in the Western Docks. So the dude's mom isn't that tough. She's only fighting like some random skulls and the occasional guard of pre one that's got a shotgun.
Get that weapon!
See? Oh, I started this fight after having sprinted. I got nothing in the tank. Okay, if I'm quick on that, I guess we can get him. Oh man, who's got a? Does he have a fire poker? What a bizarre choice. You got dudes fighting me with like these militarized holy symbols, and you were just like, "Eh, we won't need this."
London's inhabitants of the presence of vampires. What does that make me? A double or a triple agent?
Oh, Jonathan, you scamp. So we can hit a handful of these up. This is, we're doing kind of double duty. If we're hitting those, that's going to finish the quest for Throgmorton, the vampire hunter guy. All right, back out. Oh my god, does he have like mustard gas? What is that nonsense? What is wrong with you? I don't care if you're fighting vampires, like there's rules to an engagement. Alright, here's another one. So I think we got two more for those. Which it looks like are maybe just kind of around the perimeter of the Night Asylum here. Yeah, here's another one.
Done.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, because we did one earlier. We did like a mad dash when we were still struggling and getting killed all the time. He brought his own condiments. Get over here, you. I like my leeches extra mustardy. Alright, so the Night Asylum is like around the other side of this wall. Oh, sorry about your crate. Yeah, so Giselle will be here. I have no idea where Throgmorton is. Remember when we first came out after helping Sean, there was that dead guy who looked like he'd been like thrown from the roof or attacked or something. Where's Giselle? Ooh, a letter. Handwritten prayer. Dear Lord, this is my prayer for my beloved mother, Gertrude Paxton, who now awaits her daughters in heaven. Until that day, I thank you for allowing me to wake up and to go through each new day in honest poverty and modesty. Please protect the good Mr. Hampton, who let us sleep in his night shelter. I humbly ask you to forgive me for the resentment I feel towards my sister, Giselle, since Mother died. Blessed be her soul. Thank you, God, for hearing me. Amen. Man, Lottie, troubled. Lottie and her sister Giselle are poor and homeless since their mother died. I like how we get that clue, even though they've made it very plainly clear that they are poor and homeless. But we did not unlock a hint about how she resents her sister. Interesting. All right, Lottie, we'll chat with you in a few. I want to give your sister her money first. Where's your sister? Oh, we should check on Sean too, because he's probably out of his trance. Or maybe he just doesn't even hang out in here anymore. Like, Sean, you should close that door, dude. You just got like corpses laying out, bro. Yeah, maybe he hangs out down in Skull Village now. Oh, hello.
I have this thirst for blood.
Yes. Jonathan, we know about your thirst for blood. All right.
Glad to see you again.
Oh,
Mr.
Lottie,
Reid.
what are you doing?
Goodbye, Miss Paxton.
Get out of here. Oh, there's Sean.
Welcome back to my humble shelter, Dr. Reid.
How is no one
you
on to
here
you,
to
dude? Your
subdue me
eyes are
again?
bugged
No.
out.
I just came by to see how you are.
I feel all right. Why'd you ask?
Are you still feeding on corpses?
No. It's almost as though the blood you forced me to drink has provided me eternal satisfaction.
Jonathan Reid, he keeps him satisfied.
How is the sanitary situation in this part of town?
I think it's acceptable. Fewer cases of sickness recently. I thank the Lord for his mercy.
How are things in your shelter? Between the mortals and the immortals, I mean.
Even if we're all children of God, I've always maintained a strict frontier between the two communities.
What do you fear?
A few years ago, a Skal decided to pay a nocturnal visit to my sleeping customers. He got caught licking their necks in the dark.
Oof.
Since then, I have added a lock to the door.
Yo, these things are ferocious monsters, and Sean's like, don't worry, I locked the door.
What if food became scarce? Wouldn't the immortals in your flock be tempted to feed on the living? Wouldn't you?
The Skals can feed on the dead, Doctor. And until Judgment Day, mortals will continue dying.
How did you meet old Bridget?
When younger, I used to patrol the streets at night, searching for lost souls. This is how I met her. It took me 2 months just to get her name. Now we support each other.
Had you already visited their hideout in the sewers?
Just once, and very briefly. Most of them are very discreet, and they see me as an outsider, even if I protect them.
You really are a saint, Sean.
Oh, no, sir, I'm not. But I know evil, and I believe goodwill and tenacity can make this world a better place.
Have you seen Harriet Jones since taking her to old Bridget?
No, she is with the sewer Skals now. I don't go downstairs.
What happened at the Pembroke?
I guess we recognized each other. As Skals, I mean. She had but one thought. To punish. To get revenge upon everything and everyone. I realized I had to bring her here quickly.
But why did she fake her own death? There was so much blood in her room. She attacked patients, too.
I just lost her for a minute that night. When I found her, she had caused mayhem across the hospital. I slapped some sense into her, and we fled before getting caught.
What happened then?
We ran here through narrow streets and backyards. She kept saying that someone was talking to her in the dark, offering to avenge her. But I saw nobody.
So she's hearing her sire, right? Like Sean's describing the same thing that we talked to with Lady Ashbury, where she said that the can I auscultate you? I don't know what that means.
Would you let me listen to your chest, Sean?
Oh,
No,
it's a medical
Dr.
term.
Reid. You already forced me to drink your blood, and I thank you for that, for I feel better now. But it was quite an unpleasant experience.
It would help me greatly if you would allow me to give you a physical examination.
I said no. I'm no subject of medical examination, and I intend only to obey and to kneel before God.
Interesting.
Farewell, Sean.
Sean pushing
Take
back.
good care of your flock.
Well, I gotta say, feeling real good about the decision to keep Sean alive, right? Where are you? Ah, you're hiding back here. He's clearly still doing good work over here.
You again? What do you want?
Jesus, Giselle, you're
Do
such
you
a pain
need
in the
medical
ass.
help, Miss Paxton?
No, thank you.
I've identified the men who stole from you. You were right. They were members of some self-proclaimed militia.
I knew it. Did you find the money too?
Oh, no, we're not gonna lie to her about the money.
Yes, here it is. They thought they could finance their activities with it.
I never thought a man like you would be kind enough to... I misjudged you. Badly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you, sir.
Will you give the money back to your
That
comrades?
sounded like
Fuck
an
those
apology.
bastards who fired me. I'll give the money to Miss Gillingham. Her son Jack was a friend of mine. He was killed recently.
Yo, so Mrs. Gillingham's coming up aces. She's gonna give her the money that I just found. We gave her the what was it, a watch or a necklace? Anything new? So we can talk about Sean. It is hard work being an ethical vampire. You are not wrong. All right, let's ask her about Sean.
Giselle, I know you sleep at Seanhampton's shelter.
We're
What
there
can
right
you
now,
tell me about
Jonathan.
him?
He provided a roof for me and my sister. I am grateful, of course, but he gives me the creeps.
Why is that?
He's always sad,
'Cause his eyes are gray.
like he's about to cry. He's always asking us to get closer to God and to give ourselves to the Lord. Creepy.
Giselle, tell me about the death of your mother.
After our father died, Mother worked so hard she made herself sick. We spent all the money we had on useless drugs and doctors. It was hell.
Hell? What do you mean?
The three of us were exhausted and desperate. And when I'm desperate, I tend to get angry. And I'm hard to live with. Lottie said I killed Mother.
Oh, that's why Lottie is upset. I'm a doctor. I should just like prescribe a Snickers and be like, oh, Giselle, you're not yourself when you're under tremendous amounts of medical debt-based stress. Lottie didn't.
Your sister was suffering too. I'm sure she didn't mean what she said.
I don't want to talk about that. It was years ago. We Paxton sisters are tough. We don't apologize.
I can tell.
I know you were friends with Miss Gillingham's son, Jack. Tell me about his death.
Jack's murder has been a shock to the neighborhood. A sign that the situation is now out of control.
Why is
That
There has
was the
always been
indication that Jack
tension
died?
between the Wet Boot Boys and members of the trade union. But a murder? That's a first.
Who killed him?
No one will ever know. One thing is certain. While Jack was alive, I had one less reason to drink.
Why does that upset you so much?
I wish I had found the time and words to tell him how important he was to me before it was too late. Another failure for Giselle Paxton.
This is like the story of playing this game is going through and
Well,
having
I'll
someone
leave
tell
you
you over and over all this terrible stuff about how they're jerks, and then at the very end being like, but I have a sweet soul.
I know I promised you I'd make everything right, Mum. But it's not been that
All right, so that gets us in a pretty good spot. We got to go back and talk to Throgmorton. So let's do that, because that should just be a matter of finding him, and he's somewhere here in the Western Docks. And then we can scoot back over and see if we can't finally figure out where that freaking necklace is. Oh, I broke everything. All right. So, Throgmorton is right here, maybe? No, that's Lottie's still cleaning. I mean, I can appreciate why they would choose to not just like pinpoint you in the direction of your next objective, right? Like, obviously there's a good portion of this game that's about the atmosphere and a certain amount of a sense of exploration, and there's the tension of being out on the street with the guards of Prywin. Here's Ichabod. But like, don't make me run in circles for 20 minutes to find one dude.
Throgmorton.
Dr. Reid, can I be of any assistance? Have you noticed anything suspicious lately?
I put up your public service announcement. Consider the common folk warned about the vampiric presence.
Thank you, Dr. Reid. You may not realize it, but you saved a great many lives today.
Do you really think they could be useful?
See the sad saint of the East End? How a single man can help so many people? I consider myself the discreet protector of these men and women.
Aha! I am Doc Batman.
Have you heard any rumors regarding Sean Hampton's shelter?
The sad
This
saint
guy's
will
interesting
always
'cause,
be
like, he's a
target for
quack.
vampires, but I'm keeping an eye out.
But like, he doesn't seem like a bad dude.
Are you worried about the sanitary situation in London?
It seems the Guard of Prewin has declared war on vampires. I'm not sure if that's a good thing, though.
Really? I thought you'd be thrilled by this news.
The Guard can be reckless. They rush into a fight without thinking. The citizens of London should not be the collateral victims.
Tell me, Ichabod, why do you consider yourself the protector of Sean Hampton's shelter?
He is a truly inspiring example. Dedicated, pious. His shelter is open to all, whoever they are. Most admirable.
Goodbye, and good hunting, Mr. Throgmorton.
I love
the whole city.
it's such like,
hard enough to
I'm
cover the dogs
constantly
by myself.
thinking that Jonathan is going to turn and wink at the camera when he tells Throgmorton good hunting. All right, so we know at this point the only one left is the necklace. We know it's over in the docks. So first things first, let's get back over to the standard spot in the docks instead of the west docks. It's kind of a nice umbrella. What is this? Sorry about your crate. Oh, what's happening that's causing those errant map markers? This is so stupid. So to track a quest on the map, when I'm in the investigation screen, I hover over it and I push F. But that is the same thing that you do to lay down a custom marker. So every time I'm accepting quest tracking for those side quests, it like layers in below it to the map and also drops a custom marker. That's really bad. All right, we don't want to exit the shelter from that side though. We want to go take the little teleport spot so we can zip over. Which is over here. Yes. Whoop. Little rat snack.
This is despicable. I can't believe I'm doing
I don't, again, with the rats. Apparently they just never think you're gonna feed on rats again after the like opening cut sequences. Because they are convinced that I'm never gonna trigger that dialogue ever again. Alright, so pop over to the docks. So we've wandered through here over and over. Let's go check. Let's do like a perimeter run. So this loops all the way around. We can't get down here, so there's nothing on that dock. Can we get down there, though? Well, we must be able to get down there because I see a box down there. How do we get down there? Is it all the way over from these stairs? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because we've come over here. But then wait, I can't go around. So there's got to be another spot. Oh! They did it again with the tricksy, like, hidden wall thing.
This is a slaughterhouse.
Oh my god. What the hell's going on in here?
It's locked.
This is somebody's little hideaway. Hey! From Seymour to Stella.
To my beloved mother, Stella. Fishburne, that sneaky bastard.
Wait, why is he saying that sneaky bastard? What did I not figure out here? I mean, I guess the insinuation is that he's killing all these people, right? He could just be going through pockets like the people in Southwark are doing. I mean, let's go ask him. He's going to be able to tell us. He probably won't be able to shut his mouth long enough to not tell us. Oh, speak of the dead, eh, buddy?
Good evening, Mr. Fishburne.
Yeah.
Oh, God,
Do
you're
you
such a
require
jerk.
medical assistance?
I'm fine, thank you.
I have retrieved the gift for your mother, sir.
Great. Give it here then and take this for your trouble.
I also found the corpses. The ones under which you left the necklace, Mr. Fishburne.
Ah, so that's where I left it. I can be a bit stupid sometimes.
Wait, so he's just like, yep. Seymour is a habitual murderer. Okay. Making that pretty,
Have you no remorse? You don't even deny your crimes?
I have many weaknesses, Dr. Reid, but lying about who I am ain't one of them.
You're not a mindless animal, Seymour. Surely you have something to say about these murders. Speak up and I will listen without judgment.
Could be right, Dr. Reid. Maybe it'll do some good to confide in a gentleman like you. You being educated and all.
what? This is wild. All right, let's get the easy stuff out of the way first. We'll get into the serial killing in a moment, Seymour.
I don't give a rat's ass about Shornampton, his shelter, or any of the losers who sleep there.
You're right, Misha. He's like, yeah, no, I killed them all. What a dummy. That's where I left the necklace.
Aren't you worried about the conditions here in London?
I've heard armed men have started patrolling the city, even killing the sick to stop the epidemic. Starting to like this city again.
Oh my god, he's such a creep.
Tell me about your victims, Seymour. Who were they? Why them? Was there a link?
Why should there be? They just kept getting on my nerves at the worst times, that's all.
Seymour. You might have just leapfrogged Clayton Cox to the list of vampiric appetizers.
How many? How many victims?
It's not like I keep records. It happens when it happens.
Oh my god.
You feel nothing, do you? No empathy for your victims at all?
You seem pretty calm yourself, don't you?
We're not talking about me.
I mean, he's got me on that.
Well, our calm's the only thing we have in common then.
Did you take pleasure in killing them, Seymour? All those people, all those lives extinguished.
I take no pleasure from it. Just gives me peace. Stills the anger. For a time.
This rage you feel, have you ever been able to control it? Resist it?
I tried. For my mum. I tried for her. Telling the truth made me feel better. For a while.
Oh, so she knows. Doesn't know, it doesn't look like, but at least when he's confiding in Mother, he's not as aggressive.
Don't you think you should seek help? Talk to someone you trust, someone who cares about you.
No. And don't dare speak about me to your colleagues either. Keep your mouth shut tight, especially about my mum.
Wow.
Why is your mother protecting you, Seymour?
I'm her son. She's the only one who knows me. Sometimes I think she knows me better than I know myself.
I understand you love her, but can't you see the awful situation you've put her in?
Do you think my mum would have a better life if I were dead? She seems so sad to know me sometimes.
Death is not an appropriate answer. I understand her dilemma. Death is I mean, look, I don't really think that Jonathan's the type of person to be judge, jury, and executioner, but I'm not really feeling any of these excuses, Seymour. Man, very Jack the Ripper like. You're right, Julie.
I understand your mother's situation. Obtaining justice at the price of betraying her own flesh. It's quite a dilemma.
It might be my mum's wish that I end up swinging from a hangman's noose, but she wouldn't want to be the one who ties a knot round my neck.
Wow. Stella refuses to send her son Seymour to his death by denouncing him. Man, oh man. So hopefully, let's go talk to her right quick, because we might, oh, is he gonna go give her the necklace right now? This is a cool thing I've made a bad effort of kind of watching what they do around each other most of the time.
Hypocrites, all of them.
Oh,
Maggots and
nope.
liars.
Nope. Not giving anyone a necklace. Just punching doors. Is this even his mom's house? No. You just hate doors. All right. Ditch this custom marker. So that is another whole set of investigations tied up. We might have to come see Seymour at some point. If we do wind up kind of popping the
Good
cork
evening,
on
Mrs.
civilian
Fishburne.
blood.
May I come in, please?
Seymour's going to see more of Dr. Reid.
Dr. Reid.
Let's see what his mom's got to say about it
I
here.
remember the last time I had a good sleep. What can I do for you, Dr. Reid?
Well, I would like to talk to you about your serial killer son.
Aren't you worried about the conditions around here?
Hate everywhere. The city will not sink because of this flu. It's the violence that will finish us all.
Are you kidding me? The violence. Like what your son does. Let's just come right out with it.
Your son's gone way beyond simply bullying people. He has a taste for blood, and you know it, don't you, Stella?
One night, he told me straight up, in his own words. It was several days after one of his episodes.
Why did he confess? Did you suspect something?
No. I guess he wanted his old mum to help him fight his, demons.
Did Seymour tell you everything that night?
More than I could stand. The words he used to describe his hate, his rage, how he feels when he's done it.
Stella, I know you are ashamed of your son's crimes. So why do you protect Seymour?
I can't report my own son, can I? Not a burden I could bear.
Burden? How do you mean?
They'd hang him for sure. I won't send my only son to his death.
Man, this is so weird, right? Like, obviously she's a compassionate woman. She is taking care of that kid Rufus. She's kind of like, she was also an orphan. She's been down that road. She knows what it's like to grow up without family. But then she's turning a blind eye while Seymour essentially creates more orphans. Like, man, that is a tough conflict.
I understand your pain, but you cannot mother him forever.
This isn't like
If
mothering
someone
him.
ever found the
No,
courage
this isn't
to
just
speak to
like,
the police,
oh man, I help
will
him. I
take my
cheat on his
share.
homework so that he can get into a better school.
Tell me about these demons Seymour needs your help to fight.
Seymour used to be such a happy child. And he is still a helping son most of the time. But when he gets angry, he can hardly contain his rage.
All men and women are born innocent, Mrs. Fishburne. But there can be a monster within any of us.
Do you think he can be cured, Doctor? Do you think something can extinguish this rage inside my Seymour?
I mean, justice is the cure.
There is no cure for murder, Mrs. Fishburne. Only justice.
There ain't no hope then. Somehow, somewhere, my son has turned into a monster, and nothing will bring him back.
Wow.
Goodbye, Miss Fishburne. Take care of yourself.
I mean, like,
Please don't stay too long.
I wish that we had an option. You know, obviously most of our interactions with the citizenry of London are like, hey, what problems do you have? I'll help you solve them. Oh, also, I'm a vampire, so why don't you come with me into this dark alley and I'd really love a snack. But like, I wish I could just go to the police and be like, oh, by the way, that dude's a serial killer.
Good evening, Miss Cox.
Hello again, Dr. Reid. What do you want?
I
Can
would
I
like
see
some
what you have
good
to say?
handle
As
parts,
long as you have
please.
money, I'll show you all I have.
Right? Is that what we needed? I think that's what we need. Okay. I want to do another upgrade on our cudgel. I know I said earlier that we were going to do some modification on a one-hander and a pistol. But he threatened you. He didn't really threaten me. Like, he kind of threatened me. He, like, made an attempt at threatening me. But, like, he didn't threaten me. He has no idea who he's messing with. It is very disturbing that he's so cold and callous about it, though. All right, let's make our way over. So we got like 1,000 experience out of that. I mean, you know, if I'm honest, probably a little less than I thought we were gonna get, but like, I'm not gonna be upset by it. Ow, ow, stop it. But we're also gonna get experience for, can I not? I thought that was a teleport spot, but apparently not. We're also gonna get experience for handing out some remedies in Pembroke and then in Whitechapel. So the hope is maybe we get like another, I don't know how much remedies give us, but maybe like 2,500 would be good. And then we're also gonna try and knock out most, if not all, of the Whitechapel investigations. So that puts us in a position. I don't know entirely how long this game is. We're in what, chapter 4 right now? Yeah, we're in chapter 4. You know, you would assume that the boss showdown with Mary was probably about the halfway point. Like, that makes sense to me from a narrative standpoint. No, I don't want your mustard gas. Get away from me. So if we can get Whitechapel's investigations knocked out, that's gonna leave us with whatever main quest stuff we get, right? And then also, obviously, we have the entirety of the West End still. Once we've unlocked that, there's gonna be people and investigations there to be had. But I'd like to get the stuff in the sections we're already in iced out before we head to the West End, because if we do another like progression of the story, we could yet again wind up with enemies that are a higher level than what we were looking for. Stop it. Yeah, okay, so if I hit that fast enough, I guess we don't lose the range on it, so it's not that bad. Oh, stop. Stop. These little dudes with like the little quick pistols make me so irritated because it feels Like it feels like it doesn't hurt, right? Like it's just these little itty bitty like did. But man, Reid reacts like he got hit by a truck. Oh, you guys are fighting a biggin. Alright, get a little bit of a snack roll. Oh, stop. I was just complaining about him. Alright. Oh, did he kill the werewolfy thing? Damn, son. Wow. What's in that gas? All right. Scoop up some goodies. It's interesting. I guess I haven't realized it until just now that you don't get an assignment of
It's locked.
You don't get an assignment of experience points from combat until you've finished the encounter. So like if you were drastically underleveled, if you had made some really egregious decisions and had just an absurd gap between your level and the content you were fighting. Hey buddy. You would wind up in a tough spot because it's not even like you could like dive bomb specific enemies to try and just soak up some experience, almost the way you can in like a Souls game where you can just like kill a guy, run back, and just farm one dude over and over. Because you would need to be able to spawn groups and finish a whole group.
Do you need any medical help, Milton?
I'm afraid I do. Like everyone in this hospital. It's a sad state of affairs when even the hospital workers are worried about disease.
Here you go, buddy.
Our job brings us into contact with all kinds of infections, Milton. There's no shame in being ill while you're in a hospital.
That's easy for you to say, Doctor. I get the feeling you don't fall sick often. Well, thanks anyway.
Man, Milton.
Goodbye, Milton.
So sour all the time, bud. So who else we got? Mortimer's mother. The guy with the busted arm and the conservative doctor, the burn victim, the mortician, Nurse Brannigan, and then we're aces. So Brannigan's is normally out here. Where you at, Branny? There you are.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
This thing again, whenever we talk to her in a tent, there's something about the camera switch for dialogue where she doesn't look at us. She just stares off. She looks so aloof all the time.
I will be fine as soon as I can get some sleep.
Well, then here.
Nurse, you won't
Here's
be able
some
to help people if you're sick.
opium.
Take this, and do try to get some rest.
I'll try, Dr. Reid. Thank you.
Peace.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Yeah, so 25 experience per curative, it looks like. So left wing is conservative doctor and broken arm guy, yeah? Yeah, here's Waverly.
I'm quite busy right now, Dr. Reid.
Do you need my assistance?
Don't be ridiculous. I'm capable of dealing with this myself. I've just not taken the time to do so.
Then you are lucky that I have taken the time.
This guy's almost as bad as Giselle.
Consider it a gesture of solidarity between professionals.
I wish this hospital could have received as much attention from you, Dr. Reid. We do not see you in surgery very often.
Waverly, my dude.
Thank you for your
Like,
time.
you're over here suffering. I bring you this stuff to feel better, and you still find a way to throw shade at me? Come on, man.
Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening, Dr. Reid.
I want
Any
to
news about my operation?
explore this guy's
Is there anything else?
dialogues a little bit to see if completing the investigation is actually going to move
Really?
him
Why has no one else
to
asked
recovery.
me that since I got here? I thought I was in a hospital.
Unfortunately, you are not the only person who needs help. And complaining about it won't do you any good.
Well, perhaps you're right, Dr. Reid. I'm sure if me missus was still alive, she wouldn't be happy with me going on like this.
Yeah, it doesn't look
Goodbye
like
for
it.
now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
I guess it kind of makes sense, because if completing the investigation also like freed him up to leave the hospital, that would mean that there's like a person you can't eat, right? Like they kind of have these people set up. Oh, don't mind me.
Good evening, Doctor.
They have him
How's
set
my
up in
son
such a way
doing?
that he kind of has to stay here
Do
for
you
the
require
duration of
medical
the game.
attention as well, Mrs. Goswick?
Do you know you're the only one who's asked me this? No, I don't feel well, actually.
Here you go.
Despite what you think about this place, I can tell you with absolute certainty, taking this will help you recover.
Well, at least your reputation seems well deserved. Unfortunately, I can't say the same for this hospital.
So we haven't talked to Mortimer since he got his original cure. So remember, we still like haven't really talked to him because he keeps
Good
telling us
evening,
his
Mr.
throat
Goswick.
hurts.
How are you?
I'm okay.
It sounds like it still hurts.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
Well, what if you
I'm sure you
had
realize a
to?
doctor and his patient have to communicate, sir. Would it help if I gave you some paper and a pen?
Not really.
I see. Then maybe it's not just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of something more hurtful.
Yes, maybe. But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
Your medical report says you're not affected by the Spanish flu. What do you think of that, Mortimer?
Does it make me happy? Not in the slightest. If it was up to me, I would have left this place long ago. I know I don't belong here.
And why do you think you don't belong here?
I know the staff have more important things to do than look after me. There's plenty of patients here who need their attention.
Man, you're making it
I
tough,
have to
Morty.
go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
I'm alright.
Let's see if Mom's got any more dialogue. Although all her dialogue is like, "Ugh, your
How's my
hospital
son doing?"
sucks."
I've read your son's medical report, Beatrice. It's not the flu or anything life-threatening. What has you so worried?
He was at death's door when he was brought here. I just want him to be better as soon as possible.
He's not out of the woods yet, you know. He might need to stay here longer than expected.
Take care of him then, Dr. Reid. People here only seem to focus on contagious patients. I worry my poor Mortimer will be neglected.
Man, they are tough. Both of them still have like all their hints locked. There's got to be like a note or a case file somewhere that I have not picked up that points to something that we can use to squeeze another note out or another hint out. Where is Rakesh? Maybe they're vampires. I don't know. I don't know how scratchy Mortimer's voice would be if he was, Oh, but you're right. Maybe that's why he's got his neck
Good
wrapped.
evening, Dr. Reid. Such a pleasure to see you again.
Do you need medical attention?
Well, the proximity of the dead is not the most healthy company, even if the quiet can be appreciated.
Don't take too many risks with your health, Mr. Chidana. None of us are immune to this disease.
And that is a good thing. Death and disease is a constant reminder of our mortality. But you have my thanks, Dr. Reid.
I can't back up that take,
Please show me
Rakesh.
what you have to sell.
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful.
Like the stuff he's selling is just, he just breaks down medicine around the hospital, right? All right, is everyone here good? No. Thomas needs medicine too. I'm coming, Tommy. I'm coming.
You always knew the words to calm the children.
You love how he says curios. Voice actor does a really good job with him. I like that he's able to all his dialogue is delivered really smooth without losing inflection. I don't know if that makes sense, but like I've really enjoyed the conversations with him.
Good evening, Mr. Elwood.
Evening, Dr. Reid.
How you feeling, bud?
Do you need assistance?
Not really. I think I caught something in this bloody hospital. I swear I'm dead, yet smiling inside, Dr. Reid.
Here you go, bud.
As long as you remain here, I will make sure you don't have to worry about your health.
Don't think you can do much about it. Damage is done.
Always so tough on yourself, bud.
Why do you feel responsible for the injury, Thomas? What really happened?
I wasn't disfigured by any German shells. It happened during my leave.
Ooh.
It was an accident.
Why lie about it?
Come on. It's one thing to come back disfigured by the Germans, and it's another to get injured in an accident that could have happened to anybody.
Beauty is not everything. You can't hide forever. Surgery could help him.
Reconstructive surgery has been very successful for some soldiers.
I don't want to wear a bloody mask for the rest of my life. I'd rather stay here and just be forgotten.
Ooh, no. Straight up lost a hint. Whatever I said made him too mad.
Tell me what really happened then.
I went with a whore in Rouen. Dead drunk I was. The hotel was a shithole. There was a fire that night.
Did you start the fire? Were you trying to avoid going back to the front? That's not uncommon, you know.
No. It's just that I was asleep when the flames reached the room. The girl was long gone.
Oof.
Bitch never woke me up. Left me to burn.
I mean, look, she panicked. I don't know how I would react if my hotel was suddenly on fire. So that's a bummer. He had one more piece of dialogue that because we lost the hint we're not going to get now.
Damn.
Boo. All right, so that should be everyone here taken care of. Docs was already sorted. So we got a handful of people, including trying to find Mason. The woman we found in the crypt on the way to Mary's funeral should also be in her actual position now because we advanced time. And then we got one more mystery dude. Interestingly enough, this guy isn't a question mark, so we must have seen him at some point. I just cannot for the life of me figure out where it was. But we'll do that and then try and bang out some of the investigations over there because we still got 2 to do. And if, you know, by the time we're done talking to some other people, read someone who can read. Oh, we picked up that Braille note. Apparently this guy. So that's sweet. We can track that and maybe try and find him. But we're going to do that in just a second after I come back. My water is empty, so I'm going to get that refilled. If you have an empty water, you should go refill it too. I'll be back in less than 2 minutes. All right. Oh, I just locked on to Thomas. No. That wasn't what we were trying to do. All right, so we are heading up into Whitechapel. And we are going to go hand out some curative goodies. We'll try and bang out those 2 side quests. And then I think we're going to sleep again. In the hopes that whatever leveling we do is enough to potentially put us into fighting form against the next chunk of story questing. Which, like, you know, honestly, handful of guys that we've been going up against tonight, we've not struggled that much with. But I know even just walking around the streets a little bit, we were struggling with some of the encounters. And I'd like to avoid that. And more than anything, I would like to avoid another boss fight like what we did against Mary, because that was brutal. Yeah, like even this sequence here in this courtyard, I think we died to this spot once or twice yesterday, or Saturday. Oh, I hit him with the freaking ESP baseball swing. He teleported and just somehow Jonathan spun around and got him. That's awesome. All right, get this satchel we left behind. Now let us forge forward. They want us to go to Lady Ashbury's mansion. We will not do such a thing. We're going to try and see if we can find this dude. It looks like the indicator for it is very small, so hopefully we will finally locate him. So this is that dead end we found where we couldn't figure out where to go? Or no, this is a cut through. No. Man, I get so lost. This is where we found the Prewin patrol. But is there another way out of here? Negative. Okay. You know, I don't have a stellar sense of direction to begin with. And, like, that's fine. I acknowledge such a thing. But I feel like I have gotten lost in this game more than maybe any other video game I have ever played. So we gotta make a hard right here, and then at the next big crossroad, make another right. And I'm not like I'm not normally like a stare at your minimap kind of guy. So it's not like, whoa. Oh man. It's not like I'm struggling because I don't have a mini map or, you know, some like a Skyrim style compass or something. I'm just like genuinely confused by the twists and turns of the streets. Whoa. Oh man, that hurt. What'd you hit me with? Whatever he just used was big damage. Alright. Alright. Get out of here, buddy. Let's top off the old health. Did you have a little satchel? Yes, thank you. So then this goes down straight for a bit. Over there! I mean, especially when they're solo like this, might as well get them. We've got enough health that it's now reminding me to go to sleep so we can gain more vampiric power, so that's a good sign. I feel like 2000 is kind of rough though, because we've had this for the last couple levels. We've had this issue where the stuff that I want to upgrade costs like 2,000. And I don't feel like that's going to do enough to really tip the scales for us. But, you know, maybe we'll get the weapon upgrade. And, you know, combat has seemingly gone better tonight regardless. So perhaps I Perhaps I finally forged my combat prowess in the crucible of Sister Mary's combat arena. Alright, so homeboy, it looks like, was actually over here. And I don't know what he has. We know he's sick, but I don't know what the affliction is. So we're probably going to have to go see him again in a minute. After we have diagnosed him and then made the corresponding curative. Which is fine. Like, now that we are finally going to kind of know where he is, I'm not too worried about a return trip. And hopefully, we have a couple of clues that'll probably pertain to him as well. Because he's related in one way or another to the woman who's selling the snake oil, so either he or she is probably responsible for it. Oh, get out of here with that fire. That's just rude. Fight me with a giant cudgel like a real man. Yeah, so we keep going down. Oh, this is like right over by the graveyard, right? Because this is the route we took when we went to the funeral. Who is this guy? Are you an Ekin? Whoa! What is this? Oh my god! Yeah, these are not Skull. Whoa! These guys have straight up vampire powers. What? There's like 9 of them. Oh my god. Shadow cloning and like looking like the Jared Leto Joker. Alright, get a heal in. I can win this if we're smart. Play the stuns, use the vamp powers. One of them's definitely stronger than the other, so I would love to get the weak one out of here. Alright. It's not 3 of them, it's 2 and 1 shadow clone, so just keep your distance. Nope, nope. That's the opposite of distance. Get the feed in. Alright, alright. Oh, dirty trick, dirty trick. Alright, I don't care about your shadow clone. You call me a stupid newborn? This guy fights babies. Hit him with the claw, hit him with the claw. Got him. No, no, not the clone. Yes. Oh, the clone stays up. Oh, that one's not the clone. That's the other guy. You're not as tough without your buddy doing black magic, though, huh? Oh, that's garbage. I timed a claw attack right when he did that.
Give me your blood.
No, I won't give you my blood. Boom. All right. Well, that was unexpected, to say the least. It's interesting that they're just showing up as like regular enemies now. Army needs us. Yet another poster. There's a Prywin Brawler.
I'll send you back in a fucking grave.
We could definitely use some blood, so I'm not upset about a couple combat encounters here. Ooh, I just barely dodged that haircut. Alright. So where is this guy? Oh. Hello, friend.
See them fancy clothes? This one.
Ow! Just shoot people because of fancy clothes. They diagnose vampires the way that Monty Python finds out if you're a witch. Just like, oh, he's got fancy clothes. Yep, kill him. Shoot him with fire crossbow bolts. Well, now I'm a murdering bastard. You guys made me fight to the death. All right. All right. Found the man's house. How do I get into it? You got like an open window. Oh, how did I not think of that? How did I not think of a tiny gate into a weird bonfire? It is a little portal we gotta go through. That's bonkers.
Hello, sir. Sorry to disturb you at this hour. I'm a doctor inquiring about the epidemic. May I come in?
A doctor, you say? No, thank you.
Oh, I think yes.
It cannot be safe for a blind man to live here alone. Let me enter, sir. I swear I mean you no harm.
Well, a voice never lies, and yours clearly is the voice of a gentleman. All right, Doctor, come on in.
What kind of gentleman pays visits to people at this late hour?
A gentleman who knows you're blind and is going to go through all your stuff. Vampires feed on your soul. Oh, it's another pamphlet, like the one guy who was he outed the Ascalon Club. Vampires drink our blood, but they feed on our soul. How could we believe that any man or woman killed by these foul creatures, bitten by their filthy mouths, could then be accepted in heaven? No, their bodies have been defiled and their souls have been corrupted. Their place is now in hell with the legions of blood-sucking demons. Vampires feed on our souls. Clarence Crossley. For more information, please contact me directly. I don't know that he got a ton of use out of that pamphlet, because that one's definitely not in Braille.
You're either brave or a fool.
All right. Your house is looking kind of rough, dude.
It's locked, all right.
All right. Let's chat. Oh, here we go. Loretta's letter. So Loretta is the woman we talked to that sells the snake oil, I think. My dear brother, this is the apology letter you'll never read, for you've lost your sight because of me. I know you hate me for what I did, even if you never say so. We don't talk much in the Swanborough family, do we? So, to clear my conscience, this is my bravest gesture toward you, to write you this letter and to leave it in your laboratory. If you ever find it and ask me about it, I'll read it to you. If someone else reads it, well, as I wrote above, this is my bravest gesture. So, Mason, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for what I did and for the hell you've been thrown into. I'm sorry you're now a blind man trying to find a meaning in your useless life. If I could change one thing, only one thing in my miserable life, it would be that what happened 1 year ago. I swear it, Mason. If I could give my eyes for you to see again, I would. But it does not work that way, does it? So please, my brother, forgive me. Loretta.
Tell me, how do you see the world these days?
Mostly in X-ray vision that lets me see your circulatory system.
Wandering in this part of town at night, you're either... So what is the name of my nocturnal visitor?
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reid.
We didn't go to the Vamp
As I
Club
already
yet.
explained
Afterlife.
to you, I'm inquiring about the epidemic.
Dr. Reid, the eminent surgeon.
Oh,
My
he's heard of
God,
me.
I'd never have expected a brilliant physician like you to knock on my door.
You flatter me, sir.
No, sir, I am flattered. I read all your work when I still had my sight. I loved it. I'm Mason Swanborough, by the way.
First things first.
You seem unwell, sir. Do you need my assistance?
Actually, I feel worse than usual. Can you give me something?
What has he got? A migraine. So yes, we got him.
Yes. I can give you a little something that has been proven effective.
Thank you, Doctor.
You. All right.
How is the sanitary situation evolving in Whitechapel these days?
I hear them hissing and scratching at my door every night. The sick made mad by the fever. But these walls are thick, and my lock is solid.
Man, again, just putting people's lives in the hands of the crummy locks on their doors.
And what else have you learned about me, Mr. Swanborough?
I know you assisted Professor Carell in France, and that you invented a new blood transfusion method based on his work.
Yes.
Man, this guy knows what's
Those
up.
were frustrating but exciting days. I loved it.
Yes, the thrill of research and discovery. This is what drives people like us, Dr. Reid. Oh, how I envy you.
Does someone take care of you in this isolated place?
My sister Loretta and I have our daily routine. Every morning and evening she comes by so we can talk and eat. Then she leaves and I stay.
Do you not appreciate your sister's visits?
Loretta is the best and worst thing that happened to me, and I believe she could say the same thing about me.
Where does your sister go?
Well, let's just say, she earns enough money for us both.
What's so amusing about that?
I won't hide the truth from you. Loretta sells a fake miracle elixir to the sick people of Whitechapel.
Man, so again, they're trying to pull at my heartstrings a little bit, and so now we find that the reason she sells the snake oil is because she's trying to care for her brother, whom apparently she is responsible for losing his sight. Curse this game and its moral grays. Let's do the question about his sister first.
Why does your sister feel so guilty about what happened to you?
Because she knows I'll never forgive what she did to me.
You run an illegal business with someone you hate?
I don't hate my sister. She looks after me, we have a good time, but I'm just not ready to forgive her.
I mean, I get it.
Do you know Braille, Mr. Swanborough?
I'm no expert, but I learned it in my spare time, yes. Why?
I found a strange document entitled Cure for Blindness. It's written in Braille, so I thought perhaps it was yours.
Really? Is that some kind of sick joke? Let me see.
Here it is.
This letter seems authentic. And it actually refers to an experimental cure for blindness. You have piqued my interest, Dr. Reid.
Could it be of any use to you?
No. This page is just a part of a larger... I'd be glad
it's a
if you could
collection
find the other
quest.
pages.
Boo. They had largely avoided
Mr.
that throughout this game.
I'll leave you now.
What kind of gentleman pays visits to people at this late hour?
All right, that's enough, Mason. You know that I am a man of science and of esteem. So we get a handful more curatives to figure out. So this is unfortunately going to turn into scouring Whitechapel, although it doesn't look like it's a huge area that it wants us to go look in. So maybe we'll go at least take a peek. And then I thought we did convince her to go back to Whitechapel. Why is that still trackable? That's interesting.
Your prey is mine now.
Oh, God, more vampires?
You're bleeding.
I'm not bleeding. That's a lie. Come down here. Whoa. That teleport was bonkers.
Feeble.
So there's definitely, it's interesting, right? I don't know if it's, again, it could just be kind of a way to keep the difficulty up as you progress through the game. But it could also be reflecting the growing crisis here in London, that all of a sudden we've got more like full-fledged Ekin just wandering the streets. Hopefully this is enough to kill him. Looks like it. Sweet. Alright. Get some heals in. So there's more Braille leaflets to be found.
I've heard so many bad things recently.
That guy's got his eyes covered. You got leaflets for the blind, bud? Nope, just watery blood samples. So I will almost assuredly wind up looking up the locations for these items, because this is a quest type that it just drives me absolutely bonkers. But in the meantime, there's some more citizenry that we need to go attend to, and we can at least take a peek while we're over here, because he is considerably out of the way as compared to the other people in Whitechapel. So I don't know exactly what the deal is there. Oh, hello. Were we already up here? Oh, this is one of our hideouts. Yeah. Okay, so first things first. Let's remake that migraine, because that was the cushion medicine that we had. And then do we have... Oh, we do have enough. All right, cool. So we can upgrade our cudgel again, and this is a huge damage jump. So that is a-okay in my book. So we can either have it increase damage by an additional 10%, or we can decrease the stamina consumption again. Man, 24 more damage versus just losing the 3 stamina. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm gonna take the damage here. We can always switch it later, right? Like we're sitting on so much aluminum powder and so many aluminum shards. That's so much damage. All right, that's fine. Sweet. All right, so firearm wise, we got a couple pistols. Magazine of 6, magazine of 9. I think I'd rather have the 9 shots. Damage, reload time. Let's take the damage here. And then let's do an upgrade. And take damage again. And then... Is it worth another upgrade? So damage. Switch to fire damage. Best used against beasts and vampires. We would need 5 white phosphorus. Or chemical damage. Best used against humans. That's bonkers. So let's do this. Let's give it the upgrade. Because we're just sitting on trigger parts. I mean, there's really nothing to make me not use them. And then that way that's at least there if we decide we need to switch and get some damage off. For the one-handers, I don't know that I'm going to worry about it. These use what? Small? No, this uses a full-size handle part. So the small handle parts must be for like offhands. Yeah. Let's just stick with this. So now we have on quick draw, we can swap over to the Parabellum pistol. So that if we need to throw some quick range damage at somebody, we absolutely can do so. Cool. All right. So now let's go take one last quick peek for a leaflet. Does it look like it's in here? I wish the zoom was better. Yeah, it looks like it's maybe in his apartment. Is that his? No, it's over here is his apartment, right? Yeah, so it's either in his apartment or it's under it. And I don't think it's under it. Yeah, so let's go take a look around his place and see if maybe there's one in here that, again, he just doesn't see it.
Is it you, Dr. Reid? Please come in.
Wandering in this part of town at night, you're either
Gotta get them all before the slender guy in a suit catches me. Man, I'll tell you what. The new vampires showing up all decked out. A little frustrating.
Tell me, how do you see the world these days?
Mostly from a map that does not give me enough information to actually be useful, if I'm being honest, Mason. steal a blind man's
It's
shillings. So, you know, we got that going for us.
How do you see the world these days?
Yeah, I mean, if it's in his joint, I don't see it. So I guess we'll have to take a look elsewhere. Yo, why is your mattress all bloody, Mason? What's going on in here, bud?
Wandering in this part of town at night, you're either
Questionable,
brave
buddy.
or a fool.
Questionable. Can we maybe get into one of the other apartments? Oh, yeah. Nope. What a tease. Apparently, Reid can't walk over a mattress. That's way too much effort. Man, what a bummer. All right, so yet another example of being right on top of something and not being able to find a way how to actually locate it. That's fine. I'm sure we'll have to come back to him. The quest isn't worth that awful much, so we can move along for now and locate it again later. I do want to check, though. So it says that we have to help her go back home. Yeah, so she's still in the cemetery, which seems bonkers. Because we definitely, like, we went in there and killed the dude and cleared the way for her. Oh, we slept too, so I hope this doesn't mean that she died in the crypt. That would be a bummer. Although that would mean that we finally have ample reason to go and have a one-on-one chat with Clayton. What are you doing here, you nutbag?
Are you all right, Miss Shun?
My name is Xiao Shun. This is the proper way to address someone in my country.
I do apologize, Xiao Shun. Are you all right?
Yes, I am. This is the only place where I can find some kind of serenity. Some way to remember my dear Matthew.
Aww. Xiaoxun couldn't find the strength to leave her husband's tomb. Alright, let's start with the basics.
How do you feel? Physically speaking, I mean.
I'm as well as can be expected, Doctor.
How is the sanitary situation evolving in Whitechapel these days?
My only relief is that my Matthew died before seeing the madness that approaches. I'm afraid we won't survive this trial, Dr. Reid.
Xiaoxun, how sanitary is it in the tomb you were hiding in? Okay. You should go home. Alright. Let's talk to her first about her husband's death.
Tell me how your husband died, Xiaoxun.
Matthew died of the Spanish flu, like so many others. It's a mundane cause of death these days, but for me it meant the end of the world.
At this time, there is so little medical science can do to defeat this terrible epidemic. I'm truly sorry.
The worst thing is not his death, even if it tears me apart. The worst is not to have seen it coming, to have lost him so quickly, even before realizing it.
Did he hide his condition from you?
Matthew was a smiling type, a happy sort. Everything that I am not. Did he laugh at his death to come, or did he not realize what was going to happen? I'll never know.
Man.
The Spanish flu may be the worst disease mankind has ever faced. Why are you blaming yourself?
You don't understand. I didn't know he was so sick. I didn't realize the gravity of his situation until it was too late.
As harsh as this sounds, we are all equally vulnerable to this awful disease. It can take the strongest man in just a couple of days.
I never said goodbye to Matthew.
Aww.
We never realized how bad it was. We laughed about it even. He always made me laugh. Now I don't have enough tears to shed.
That's brutal.
Are you on your own? Do you have any friends or family who you could be with?
I have family and friends, but I need to be here alone. One day maybe I'll go back to them, but not now. I need silence.
This seems like a terrible choice, Xiaoxun.
You should not be by yourself. Grief can be a terrible trial, and it's even worse when you're alone.
Thank you for your sincere words, Dr. Reid. I sense you trying to help me, even if I don't quite understand why.
Because I want the best possible ending, Xiaoxun. Oh, I can just straight up tell her I let Mary die?
You realize you can't stay here forever, don't you?
She probably heard me
Eventually, you'll have to
make
leave
Mary
the
die if she was
Why?
chilling in the cemetery.
Why should I go? Since this is the only place I can find peace of mind.
To be honest, I don't know. Please forgive me if I've upset you. We must all honor our departed loved ones in our own way.
You
Not
sound
what I
like
wanted to
you're
see.
no stranger to the pain I feel.
Let's just say, I too have a good reason to visit cemeteries at night.
Please accept my condolences for your loss then, Dr. Reid.
Are you a doctor yourself? Is this why you feel so guilty for not saving your sick husband?
No, I am not. But I still need to blame someone for Matthew's death. And who else, if not his wife, who did not see it coming?
I'm a physician, one of the best in the country. But I was unable to save my own sister, Mary. She died in my arms.
Why tell me this? Is it supposed to make me feel better?
She will rest in this cemetery forever. And I'll spend eternity hoping that she can forgive me.
May I ask what caused the death of your sister?
You could say she was also killed by a terrible disease. A disease I have sworn to fight and cure.
A disease called crucifix to the
For
heart.
sharing that with me, Dr. Reid. Maybe it's time we start to rebuild our lives, you and I.
Did she just ask me out? I think we're going on a date with Xiaoxun.
You should go home now.
I think you're right. Cemeteries are for the dead, for they need silence too. Thank you for your honesty and your wisdom, Dr. Reid.
Thank you for your company, Xiaoxun. Take care on the way home.
Maybe I'll see you again in Whitechapel. Goodbye for now.
Wonderful.
Goodbye for now.
All right, cool.
Many new graves.
So that one's done. A little bit more experience there. Let's make our way out of the cemetery, which I've already got myself turned around in. God, I know this approach well. This whole area seems a lot more peaceful when Mary's not ready to murder me. What is this? Is this like a secret area? Oh, this is the approach. This is where we were when we were watching the funeral in secret. That's like the little perch we were on while my mother and her driver, I don't know who, we haven't really established who that guy was. Maybe our mother's in the West End. I know we're supposed to stay away from her, but I'd really like to know what happened after the funeral, because she just kind of pieced. Like, she was there and then she was gone, but they didn't explain any of it. I'd like to know if she somehow was able to just, like, pretend that she didn't watch her two children trying to murder one another, especially considering that one of them, she was at their funeral and the other one had gone missing, and I'm sure been listed as dead. So we need the snake oil salesman, the preacher, and then the merchant and the gangster. So we can get to the preacher because he should be right over here. Oh, that's the... Oh, we can't... There's no cut through there. That's the florist. Is that the side entrance? Yes. Ugh. All right, he's over there. I can at least see him. Hey, buddy. Look, I gotta stop you screaming for a second so you can take your medicine.
It's Father Whitaker, my son. So, are you still lost in your rational delusions?
Don't you fear getting sick yourself?
Faith gives me all I need, my son. If I must fall, then so be it.
Well, in the meantime, take this medicine.
No doubt your faith will prevail, but let me give you some extra protection against the devil's work. Medicine.
Blessed be your generosity, my son.
How is the sanitary situation evolving in Whitechapel these days?
Don't you hear the trumpets? The apocalypse is upon us, Dr. Reid. The final battle.
Man, this guy seems to know what's up.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences, and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
I am. But the answers I seek are based on facts, not superstition. Have you any friends? Any family left in these terrible times?
No. But I have a disciple I see as my son. He is so devoted. I sent him to preach the good word in the heart of this corrupted city.
Where did you send him?
I sent Samuel to the Stonebridge Cemetery, where the pestilence and evil grows night after night.
You sent him on some preaching crusade during the epidemic.
As a true believer, Samuel will fear no evil while he walks through the valley of the shadow.
So we have a new investigation. I think there's a couple other people here in Whitechapel that we've not necessarily gone through all their dialogue. So there might be a couple other investigations that we are not using. Retrieve Samuel the disciple in the cemetery. Father Tobias Whitaker is so convinced his crusade against the epidemic is the only solution to save London that he sent Samuel, a devoted follower he sees as his son, to cleanse Stonebridge Cemetery. His disciple is supposed to purge the place from evil and pestilence, but something tells me the poor Samuel may be in quite a bad spot. Maybe I should go there and check on his fearless crusade myself. Which we can do, because we're not... I mean, I wish we had known while we were in the cemetery, but we're basically still right there. I cannot imagine that Samuel is okay. Although, I mean, it begs the question that if Samuel is the worse for wear up here in the cemetery, how did Shoshun just like chill there for a couple nights? Like she was probably 100 yards away while my sister and I fought to the death. Oh, that's right. It said District Serious and I suddenly had a panic attack, but it went to Serious. Ooh, a strange formula, you say. It's not in here, so it's probably something for a serum. It went to Sirius after we slept and leveled up last because it was triggered by the sudden new wave of diseases in the city. So once we've scattered these curatives to the requisite parties, we should be okay. He's gonna be right down in here somewhere. Yeah. Samuel. You doing okay, buddy? Why is there a battle trumpet? Oh, God. Oh, big whiff. Oh, you missed me. That's garbage. Oh, damn. Yo. The pistol goes hard now that we've got it spruced up. That's awesome. Alright, so somewhere amongst the shambling dead and nightmare creatures, I'm assuming we have to find Samuel's corpse and bring, like, a memento to the vicar. Because, like, I cannot imagine. Yeah, this is probably him right here even. Nope. Some other poor sod. Dude, if you're just sitting here patrolling, you know there was like a werewolf 2 feet from you a minute ago? You're just standing around? Worthless. I'd rather have Ichabod Throgmorton as my designated hunter. Alright, so just keeping an eye peeled. Oh, this has got to be Samuel, right? Just getting snacked on. Use our invincibility frames. Get a swing in. Oh, snap! He caught me. Okay, so that doesn't do near as much damage as it did when it was the boss, so that's good at least. That does plenty, though. Ooh, sorry about your headstone. I can't believe I'm not invincible while I'm charging that up. That's such hogwash. Alright. Alright. Enough of that nonsense. Are you Samuel? No. Man, so where is Samuel? There's another dude over there, a hunter. So we're going the wrong direction. Unless we hang a hard right here, because that might loop us back into an area. I mean, I don't know if it's kind of a safe assumption that he's towards the center of this circle. I don't think we've really seen that illustrated practically yet with other quests. But like, the graveyard's not a huge area, so it's not going to be a big deal to check for him. Provided I don't get killed. There's a couple enemies in here that are not exactly cakewalks. Alright. Samuel. That's the wrong way again. So if we go back this way and now hang left, this is going to take us deeper into this portion of the cemetery. Yeah, okay. How awesome would it be if he had just been chilling on this bench, like smoking a cig, just like, hey. Did he go to the crypt where Shao Shun?
Carnage. Is Father Whitaker's disciple among the bodies, I wonder?
Yeah, remember when we came in here, she was chilling at the gate because she was trying to not get killed. And at the far end of the crypt was this horror show.
This man's far too old to be Samuel.
This one's too young. This one's just right.
No. By the look of his clothes, this man's a docker.
Whoa. Oh, that actually worked. It helped me find another
Samuel
body.
isn't here. I had better follow the blood trail.
All right. Does the blood trail go out the window? Because I don't see... I see one more blood splatter here. Maybe it'll be outside. Yeah, it's everywhere. Okay, yeah, so we got some speckles here. So now my visibility when we're in this like predator mode is tricky, because even though we can get like that really fluorescent look for the blood, I struggle sometimes to pick up shapes of enemies, and you got to get pretty close before you get some of this stuff. So we just gotta not get
as I
juiced. All right.
Samuel no longer preaches the good word.
Yeah. Sorry, Sammy. And they didn't even give him like a custom model. Oh, I guess they kind of did. He's wearing different looking clothes, I think. Personal diary. Ooh. 12th October. Father Whitaker is so righteous, so full of compassion and love for the suffering ones. His words are all this city needs. Tonight, I gave him all I have, my strength, my faith, my wealth, and if it is not enough, I know where to find more. 17th October. Father Whitaker and I went to an abandoned house near St. Mary's Church. It was an awful and smelly place. Rats were disputing the rooms to the last remaining residents of the decrepit flats. Most of them are sick. Awful, awful odors. On the last floor, Father Whitaker found an old man lying on a dirty mattress, coughing and spitting blood in a wooden bowl. Father Whitaker knelt before him and prayed a long time. The man seemed to feel better. Then we both helped him find the light. I cried then, and I cry now as I write these lines, for I've never seen a soul so relieved to be finally redeemed. Father Whitaker is a saint. If it's not presumptuous nor a sinful expression of pride, I wish I'll be able to save as many souls as he does, for it's a real privilege to witness such miracles. 19th October. Tonight, we both went to the whorehouses bordering the canal. I must admit, I was very afraid to cross the path of Jezebels, but the buildings were abandoned for a long time. Whores and infections go together, explained Father Whitaker, but their customers quickly get scared when there is mention of disease. In the last brothel, we found 2 sick women sleeping together in a sinful attitude under dirty blankets. The odor was awful once more, the smell of Satan and of the disease, explained Father Whitaker, before kneeling and praying for these 2 lost souls. The women were so frail and sick that they were not able to move when I threw the petrol on the blankets. Their souls are now cleansed and purified. Jesus! Father Whitaker is 21st October. I forgot how words work because I was thinking about the fact that this holy crusade meant he was burning people alive. 21st of October. Father Whitaker is a saint, but I won't let anyone mock the holy man he is. He shall receive more help and support, but as all the true prophets, he is alone. He needs more from his followers. He needs love and proof of love. Tomorrow, I shall go back to the cemetery and unearth more wealth for him. The dead have no need for the terrestrial goods, but we will need to eat, Father Whitaker and I. So he turned to grave robbing as a way to show his devotion. That's awesome. 27th of October. Hey, this happened today. Tonight, for the first time, it was my turn to lead the round. I chose to return where we went 10 days ago to see if any more souls needed to be freed. Father Whitaker approved my choice, since the good man's work is never finished, and Satan never sleeps, he explained. He also said, if I keep showing so much zeal, he may soon give me more important missions and tasks. I can't wait. 3 more souls have been cleansed from any corruption tonight. If it's not presumptuous nor a sinful expression of pride, I dare say we are one a path to greatness. Wow. No, thank you. Tobias has already killed several sick people during his crusade to cleanse the city. Yuck.
This is despicable.
Well, got a lot of serial murders right now in London. Not gonna say that I love it. Oh man. I don't even know that we need to level up anymore. Look at this. Dude took two, maybe 3 shots and he was donezo. Ooh, what's this little spot? This was tucked away. Holy symbols and orachalum. Oh, it's the pamphlets again. If you ever face a vampire, never forget that they fear holy symbols as long as you have the faith. A cross, a Star of David, an olive branch even, can prove useful to repel these creatures from the pit. But you will not harm them for good. If you really want to hurt them, only one solution exists. Forget about wooden stakes or silver bullets, and find yourself the strongest weapon against vampires, orichalcum. Do you think it's a coincidence that orichalcum was common in Atlantis, according to the legend and ancient writings? Atlantis was infested with vampires, and the place is now known as the Santorini Island. I'll personally pay 10,000 pounds to the man who can provide me some real orichalcum. Clarence Crossley. For more information, please contact me directly. Man, Clarence Crossley, you, my dude, are certifiable. Okay, so nice little bonus investigation we didn't know we were gonna have to contend with. Crossed off the list pretty quick. Let's head back into Whitechapel and spread around the remedies we've got cooked up. Probably do a couple quick little chats to see if anyone else has got some quest stuff. I subconsciously decided to sidestep to not walk on Mary's grave. I wonder how much of that was like reflex given our ordeal in that cemetery. All right, so hang a left here. We can boogie into Whitechapel proper. Let's absolutely go confront the father, because I would like to know his reasoning for just, you know, killing people. I don't recall that book in the Bible. Well, there's a lot of killing in books of the Bible, but I don't remember the one where it says that priests should burn sick people alive. All right. You are Clayton. Clayton, we've done almost all of your stuff, I think.
How are conditions in Whitechapel at the moment?
I always thought it was my role to reveal what really happens in these forgotten parts of London.
And you're not sure anymore?
Emptied coffins, cannibalism, walking dead. I'm trying to report the truth about what's going on, but no one believes it anymore.
How did we learn this one? I don't remember who gave. Oh, it was from Christina. Was like, I turned to prostitution because what else am I supposed to do?
Christina Popper claims she sells her body because she can't find any other work. Do you believe her?
Of course I do. Her story is exactly what I want my readers to understand. We live in an intolerant and divided nation.
Do you think things will ever change, Mr. Darby?
I believe the situation can only improve. And now that women can vote, I'm convinced things will change.
If you want things to change, you vote. Thank you, Clayton. I understand now.
Goodbye, Mr.
All right,
Darby.
so that was the only new thing we had from Clayton. And he's not one of the people who's sick. Yeah. So we'll ignore that. Let's go confront the father. Yeah, hey, I found your buddy.
My son. So, are you still lost in your rational delusions?
I have found Samuel, your disciple. I am afraid I have bad news.
I already expected the worst. He should already have come back. He is dead, isn't he?
Yes, he is now. The epidemic took him.
Samuel steadily made donations to our cause. He would have rewarded you himself if you'd found me in that awful cemetery. Please accept this money.
I wonder if this money was dug up in the cemetery. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Your disciple, Samuel, stole from the dead in Stonebridge Cemetery. I have proof of his crime and proof of his death.
No! Samuel was the best of us. So devoted, so zealous. He gave all he had for the cause. He tirelessly preached the good word.
Tobias's crusade is funded by his apprentice's grave-robbing activities.
He defiled the dead with his petty thefts. That's how he financed your misguided crusade.
Think what you will. When this city is saved, he will be praised for his devoted fortitude. He walked boldly into the mouth of abomination.
Your precious Samuel used you. He was an immoral crook.
If that's true, then he will be my burden to bear during this endless night.
I don't know that I can support that take from Reid. Like, yes, what he did was not strictly moral. However, it's one of those weird things where, like, he's not wrong. Like, people who are dead don't need the gold in their pockets, and he thought he was giving it to a righteous cause. Did he go about it the right way? No, absolutely not, right? Like, what do you do if people are going to come and get buried in the cemetery and you're there overseeing it? Like, ask them for donations, remind them how tough it is for everyone who's still living. Like, there's ways he could have done it, but, like, for Reid to say that he was using this as a setup, that's not what I got out of that diary.
Tobias Whitaker, confess why you burnt those people alive.
I have done what no one was ready to do. I will smite the flesh of the unclean to protect the righteous.
Ooh. You are just another heartless murderer, exploiting the epidemic to kill with impunity.
No! No. The only way to contain the spread is to strike at the source itself. The proliferating sick.
I don't know if it's just my imagination, but it sounded like Reid was so much more pissed at this guy than when we were talking to a straight up serial killer who said that he only killed because it made him less angry.
You're not the savior of London. You're just a glorified sadist.
I take no pleasure in this awful cleansing, Dr. Reid. I am only driven by the thousands of innocents I save each night.
So it's got to be less that Reid's angry about the deaths and more the constant tension between these two, because Reid is like desperately trying to get everyone to pay attention to the rules of engagement over the Spanish flu, if you will, and meanwhile Whitaker is just like, no, we'll pray it away.
Why did you send Samuel to the cemetery, Tobias? What did you see there?
I sent him on a vision. A dream of a dreadful and laughing queen covered with blood, sleeping with the dead and feeding on the fear of the dying.
What?
A laughing queen dressed in blood. Tell me more.
This epidemic is her feast, the announcement of her return. Against her, science is no more than a child's toy.
But who is she?
She is the mother of harlots and abomination of the earth. She is Babylon, drunk on the blood of the saints.
Whoa.
Why did you send Samuel to the...
I sent him on a...
You sent a man to die because of a stupid vision. I have heard enough of your nonsense. Goodbye.
You know, it's interesting. They have time and again done a very good job in dialogue trees in this game of making it so that, like, most of the conversation outcomes are somewhat exclusive. We just saw it earlier tonight with Thomas, where I said something that upset him and we lost a clue as a result. But there's a couple, like what we just experienced there, where for whatever reason, it lets me go back in and also get the other half of it, which is really jarring in a game that otherwise has culled these dialogue trees so tight. You know, you're used to it in a game like Fallout or, you know, Mass Effect, where a lot of times you can go back in, approach the same sequence of dialogue choices in such a way that you get a different outcome and kind of get every available answer. But they've done a great job of it so far in Don't Nod's games, and I was kind of surprised by that here.
Keep your medicines for others.
No, shut up and
There is
take
a
your
thin
medicine.
line between pride and stupidity, sir. Please take this medication. You'll feel better.
All right.
Got him.
I'll take it then. It's not like I don't appreciate the gesture.
All right, Joe. Good on you.
How is the sanitary situation in Whitechapel?
I'm not easily scared, but crazy killers and armed patrols are lurking about. My son's right about this place.
I don't think we have anything fresh with him. Might be worth going to talk to his son, because his son we haven't chatted with since we chatted with him and learned all the stuff about him and his gang and all that.
Something, sir? You never lose your focus, do you?
I appreciate this guy because he's out here hustling, but man,
look at my stuff.
having every piece of his dialogue turned back to his store, woof.
I don't quite agree, but I won't argue with you. Please take this. You'll feel better.
Really? Free? Don't take it personally, but charity usually comes at a price. Human nature being what it is.
How are the current conditions in Whitechapel?
When there's more people outside at night than during the day, then you've got to start to worry.
Oh, we can press him about the affair. Is Joe well, no, they've shown that it won't matter.
Barrett, you had an affair with Joe's wife, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. She's the only woman I loved. My first regret is that she stayed with Joe after Harry was born. The second is I never shed a tear when she died.
Did you ever try talking to Joe?
Never. But I suspected he knew everything, even without knowing it. And he decided to make me pay in his own way.
Do you mean you're Harry's father?
No one will ever know for sure. And it's better that way. And I don't believe I'd have been all that bad as a dad.
Oof.
Right then. Show me what you have.
He hits me with all that heaviness, and I'm just like, all right, well, listen. I'd like to buy some things. Nothing here we really need, I don't think. I wish I had checked more closely at what we want to further upgrade the cudgel to the last stage. So we'll have to check on that when we go to level up. Let's check in with Joe's son right quick and see if we have any new dialogue with him.
Good evening, Harry. May I come in?
Sure. Sure. Even my dreams are soaked with gloom.
God, you're so depressing, son. All right.
So, may I ask you a few questions?
I'm not bothered. What could be worse?
Have you any recent news of Nurse Crane and her dispensary?
I don't believe in miracles, but it seems the epidemic has been kept at bay for a few days.
Yeah, here we go.
Your father and Mr. Lewis used to be good friends. What happened, Harry?
I was young then. I don't remember Mr. Lewis ever coming back again after my mother died. Or was it after my father started bullying him? I don't know.
Have you tried speaking to Mr. Lewis about it?
I don't go out often, but yes. And he scolded me and told me to leave him alone. I guess my father frightens him too much.
But you are not responsible for your father's actions.
Am I not? Dad always says that he joined that gang for my safety. So if I wasn't born, people wouldn't be worrying about Colossus Joe.
That's a hell of a bird to try and yoke on yourself, buddy.
Do you remember when Barrett Lewis was close to your family? To your mother?
Not really. I was too young. But I remember it was a happier time. Mr. Lewis was funny. He often had dinner with us.
Why are you sad, then?
Because it hurts to remember a time when my father used to laugh and smile. It hurts to realise he's as sad as me now.
How was he towards you?
He was nice, I guess. He never forgot my birthday. He always offered me books. I liked books.
All right.
Goodbye, young man. Take care of yourself.
So a little something extra there. I'll be honest, finding out that Barrett and the infidelity with Joe's wife led to potentially a child out of wedlock, I'm gonna take that over finding out another person in this game is a serial killer. I'm gonna chalk that up as a win. All right, where's the snake oil saleswoman? She's got her cart around here somewhere. Nope, not over this way though. I am so impressed that we have not dirtied up the tails on this coat. Jonathan, you mad scientist of textiles, you. Alright. Not this way either. Man, thank God this game isn't a Dark Souls style game, because if I was just wandering around Whitechapel like this all the time and like never learning the layout, I would be miserable. Like even for the merchants, even if you just put a tag on it so that I knew which merchant was which, that would be ideal. All right, keep going over and around here. And then that's our hideout that I just passed. So I think she's up here. Yeah. Okay, cool. So we'll give her a remedy.
Good
and
evening,
we have the dialogue
my
now
dear
because we've
colleague.
met her brother.
You look ill, Miss Swanborough. I wonder if your concoction will...
I didn't even think about the fact we're giving her
I
medicine.
have
She's got
no
her
doubt
snake
it will.
oil.
But I'm not against a second opinion, Dr. Reid.
Here you go.
Well, there
Scumbag.
you have it. Take this remedy, but be discreet. It may damage your business otherwise.
Thank you.
All right, so...
How is the sanitary situation evolving in Whitechapel these days?
When people buy guns instead of medication, it means they have already traded hope for fear in their hearts. In my book, that's never a good thing, Doctor.
Yeah, here we go.
Loretta, why do you feel so guilty about your brother?
I don't expect him to forgive me. All I can do is make amends for what I did.
By making him a crook and a criminal. What if somebody decides to make him pay for your scam?
Mason is totally capable of defending himself. Just leave us be. We're perfectly fine.
I know how guilt feels between a brother and sister. Are you sure you're not trying to ease your own remorse?
Mason wants to be useful. Can you understand that? And chemistry is his passion. And the Swanborough cordial gives him a purpose in life.
Loretta believes she gave Mason Swanborough a goal by having him create this miracle elixir. Interesting. So if we take that back to him, I'm hopeful that maybe we can get her last little bit of dialogue.
I'd like to see what kind of medicine you're selling.
You know, we bought one of these from her for 35 shillings, and I don't remember who it is. We did a quest for someone right after that, and they gave us one as a reward, and I was legitimately irritated. It's like the first time. I haven't really worried about quest rewards in this game because I'm just interested in the dialogue. But man, when he handed me that freaking cordial, I was so irritated. All right, so I think that just about does what's going on over here in Whitechapel. We've still got to go figure out the other Braille notes. We knocked out the investigations in Pembroke and finished the one, well, the Pembroke ones had already been done, but we finished up the ones in the docks. Cure-wise, let's see. Everything good in the docks. Everything's good at Pembroke. And everything's good here in Whitechapel. And obviously still we have no idea about the West End. So we can probably rest safely now. Oh, that's right. This one's upstairs. I gotta go up and there's like a little teleport up the... Whoop. All right. So first things first. Yeah, so we still have one of each of our standard medicines. I'm not going to worry about putting one of the level 3 remedies kind of in standby, just because it's so many resources that I don't know that it's worth doing until we see one. Didn't we pick up a strange... I wonder if that's not one of these. I wonder if that's like a quest item. Man, what am I doing? We're just sitting on so much of this stuff we could salvage. We've not spent money, so I don't see any reason to keep hanging on to this stuff. I'm like getting into the classic RPG conundrum. I can do that when I'm not streaming, though. That's frustrating to click that over and over. So all we need is actually good handle parts, and we can get this sucker up to perfect, which is another huge jump in damage. And at that point, I think you can just basically chalk this up as an endgame weapon. Decrease stamina consumption or add 3 stun points, which almost assuredly stun is the take there, right? In fact, it might even be worth going back at that point and maybe stacking the stuns on from the previous levels, because this thing's already gonna be hitting like a truck, and if we can also get extra stun out of it, that would be wonderful. Let me see if we can find in our items. Personal diary. Yeah, I thought we picked up in that little side area. Maybe I have to do that at Pembroke. Yeah, so it looks like that's at that other desk. That's at the Pembroke desk. That's the like chemistry desk. So I'll have to wait on that. We can't do anything about that in the workshop. But we do have plenty of experience points here. So what are the priorities? Well, combat's changed quite a bit since we got the upgraded on the weapon, so I'm not as concerned about getting some more offensive stuff upgraded. What would be nice, maybe having our heal for more. How much does that cost to level up? 2,000. So trade more blood to heal yourself instantly and gain an additional boost to your health generation. Or you trade the instant health for a greater regeneration. So that's 250 healing, or it's 300 healing, but 100 of it is done over time. Down here, we still get the instant healing, but it costs us more. Yeah, significantly more. So instead of it being 10, it jumps up to 25. Which is a lot of blood. So yeah, I think I'm actually comfortable with... So that makes it go up to 15, though. So what's the bigger deal? An extra 10 blood cost? Or staggering out the health? I think the staggered health's not terrible. So that would probably be my first choice. We could also increase our blood pool. I don't hate that. That would make it so that we couldn't do the heal improvement, though, but maybe instead we do a bigger blood pool and a bigger health pool. Don't have enough to do health, stamina, and blood pool, unfortunately. More bullets might be helpful now that we've suddenly got a need for the firearms, because we're carrying 12 bullets. Well, I mean, it goes up in such small increments. So if we carry 12, we'd go what? Even if it rounds it up, we'd go to 14. That's not a ton. Maybe a different ultimate here, because I'm not in love with the rage. We don't seem to use that in such a way as to really feel like it's helpful. I think, so let's do this. Let's take the less instant health for a little bit more health, but it's staggered out over time. And then we've got 600 more that we can use. We can get more damage on our bite or more heal off a bite. And I think that's the move. Yeah. Okay. Man, oh man. So all that questing, all that stuff, and we got 2 levels. Oh no. Was Xiaoshun sick when we talked to her? And I just totally spaced and didn't heal her? That's a bummer. She's still sick. Okay. So, Whitechapel, huge jump. Went from serious all the way up to healthy, but obviously just kind of on the cusp of healthy. I have no idea about the West End still. Completely sanitized still at the docks. What you got for me? So we got 2 new diseases in the Pembroke. It's Pippa and Newton. He's the one down on the canal. So neither of those looks terrible. So it's 2 colds in Pembroke and 1 cold in Whitechapel. So yeah, none of that's tough. Didn't have any big story events around the city, so there's no dramatic change on that front. So looks like, all in all, a pretty easygoing night in London.